This is ABC 7 News at 6.
A man from Rome, Maine has been indicted on a dozen felony charges by the Kennebec County Grand Jury. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. 79-year-old David Allen Henry stands accused of attempted murder and multiple counts of elevated aggravated assault, unlawful sexual contact, and gross sexual assault. Court documents say he attempted to cause a female individual's death by strangulation and hitting her in the head repeatedly with a baseball bat. Documents also show the unlawful sexual contact and gross sexual assault charges stem from alleged incidents where they say Henry subjected victims younger than 12 or younger than 14 to sexual contact or sexual acts. Authorities say the body of a missing fisherman from Steuben has been found. According to the Maine Marine Patrol, the body of 63-year-old Thomas West was recovered from the waters of Dyer Bay near his 35-foot lobster boat Aces and Eights. Officials say West was reported missing at about 9 p.m. on Tuesday after local fishermen discovered his boat was running with no one aboard. Marine Patrol launched a search that night using a remotely operated vehicle in the water, but suspended the search at about 2:30 a.m. Wednesday due to low visibility. They plan to resume search efforts, but the Marine Patrol was notified that West's body had been discovered by family members and transferred to a relative's fishing boat. His body will be transported to the office of the Chief Medical Examiner in Augusta for an examination. In other news, a case of vandalism involving a centuries-old tree has upset a community. Gail White of the Orono Land Trust says they discovered a couple of days ago that someone had spray painted a tree in the Jeremiah Colburn area of the Land Trust. She says this area is truly sacred to them since the area and the tree were what inspired the creation of the Land Trust. She says the paint is extremely harmful to the tree as it seeps into the bark, blocks the tree's oxygen intake, and eliminates the tree's ability to release carbon dioxide. She says the tree is a central fixture and an iconic part of the trust since 1986 and has never before been purposefully damaged.
I would swear half the town has been out to see that tree and taken their kids and they've climbed them, and a lot of people our age remember climbing it when they were kids, and my kids, my grandkids have gone out, and it's just disheartening.
She says the Land Trust is researching the best and least impactful way to remove the paint from the tree in the hopes of rejuvenating it. Meanwhile, a sigh of relief this morning in the town of Winslow as the police department there tells us they've found Zachary Crothers. The Winslow Police Department says he was found between 9 and 10 this morning and that he's doing okay. The 24-year-old went missing Sunday afternoon, prompting police to ask those living in the area of Clinton Avenue, Benton Avenue, and Halifax streets to review camera footage from that day. Authorities say Crothers has developmental disabilities and his family was concerned for his safety. We are sure they are breathing a bit easier tonight. As a part of National Work Zone Awareness Week, the Maine Department of Transportation is urging drivers to slow down and stay alert in work zones. Our Alex Schley spent the day in Bangor with a crew at the Broadway Street overpass, where the margin for error is razor thin.
In many active work zones across Maine, crews worked just feet from traffic.
Standing on the line of cones that divides the work zone from the traffic, and traffic was still flying at 65, 70, and you got 18-wheelers 2 to 3 feet off your backside.
When you see a cone, think people. That's a message driving this year's Work Zone Awareness Week in Maine.
When you get into kind of the more downtown areas like this in Bangor, we're dealing with a lot of traffic. We got about 20,000 cars in each direction.
In Maine work zones, speed limits drop to 55 miles per hour or lower, but workers say many drivers aren't getting the message. According to a 2025 study by Maine Transportation Authority, 95% of drivers speed through work zones, with 42% traveling more than 21 miles per hour over the limit.
Everybody has a place to be. They want to get there on time, but at the same rate, we're out here trying to make sure that the transit in this state is safe and good for the future.
And for some workers, the consequences can be deadly. In January, 2 Maine DOT workers were struck and killed on an overpass in Waterville. Crews say they're working to do their part to stay safe on the job.
Obviously, we wear reflective gear. Like in a job site like this, we're sitting behind barrier to make sure that traffic can't come in where it's not supposed to.
But even with those safeguards in place, workers say safety ultimately comes down to drivers paying attention. So don't drive distracted, keep your eyes on the road, and pay attention. That is as easy as it sounds. It might just save a life. In Bangor, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
An important message there. The Bureau of Motor Vehicles is taking some of its services on the road. Today, the BMV and Secretary of State's office launched a mobile branch that aims to make services more accessible for Maine's rural communities. Our Grace Blanchard shares more.
The Bureau of Motor Vehicles is going mobile. The BMV Mobile Branch is a portable unit that will travel to rural areas without direct services,
ensuring accessible, convenient customer service for every Mainer in our state.
According to Secretary of State Shenna Bellows, for many Mainers, the nearest BMV branch is over an hour away. This unit aims to eliminate that burden.
Some people are having to take off half a day or a whole day from work just to get their BMV services. So we really wanted services that would go to where the customers are.
The unit is designed to offer the most popular and common services, such as address and name changes, learner's permit services, and issuing driver's license and state ID services and real IDs. Lawmakers say this project received bipartisan support in the Maine legislature to secure funding and move this initiative forward.
I'm not sure that we'd ever see this in my district, but in more rural Maine, it certainly is a game changer for people.
It will also travel to sites like senior living facilities and veterans' homes. Bellows says this mobile branch could reshape the future of the BMV.
We'll always have a branch that you know where it is, you can go there 5 days a week, but having the convenience of service that comes to you, I think is part of the future of the BMV.
The mobile unit will launch in Belfast, Holton, Dover Foxcroft, and Machias before expanding to other communities in the coming weeks. In Augusta, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
There are 140 homes on Newbury Neck Peninsula in Surrey. When a storm washes away a section of its main road, it puts first responder access at risk. That's why one select board member was shocked to learn that residents turned down a project to prevent such damage from happening again. Our Doug Banks explains.
There were many roads across Maine that suffered severe damage during the winter storms of 2023 and 2024. This section of Newbury Neck Road in Surrey being one of them. 4 storms between December of 2023 and March of 2024 inflicted $400,000 worth of damages on Surrey. But when the town received federal funding to construct a more storm-resistant crossing through Carrying Place Beach, residents voted against it.
Different people had different thoughts about it.
A visit to Newbury Neck Peninsula could include a stop by Perry's Lobster Co. while seeing a different side of Mount Desert Island.
It's a special place for Surrey.
The peninsula is flanked by Morgan Bay and Union River Bay. In the middle is the town's only public beach.
The beach is the pinch point,
which he says is susceptible to erosion when storm surges and high tide combine. It's a reason why in September of 2022, a town-formed committee determined it was an asset worth saving. The road is currently 8.9 feet above sea level. A reconstruction project would have added 3 to 6 feet to it. Stark says the town was able to obtain $2.9 million in congressionally directed spending. A 25% town match would have been required, but Stark says plans were in place to use state grants before even considering touching taxpayer dollars. Which is why Stark says it was an unexpected turn of events when the Newbury Neck Peninsula Storm Evacuation Project was turned down by residents on a recent referendum ballot by a 240 to 178 vote. Why? Stark suggests it could have come down to costs and aesthetics.
4 years of research and listening to people identify it as one of our top 5 priorities in town to come up with a solution, and now, our hands are tied.
In Surrey, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And now, folks, we'll hit pause and turn things over for a first look at our forecast.
All right, Beth, thank you. Tick and Mosquito Guard. We stop ticks and mosquitoes. Call today at 207-263-3421. All right, talking weather out there for us today. And one of those days, once again, some light rain and snow showers in the area. And look at the temperatures, right? We should be mid-50s. Not so much for us today. 47 here in Bangor today. 42 Millinocket. I know it's not fair, but warmer temperatures are on the way. Upper 50s tomorrow, followed by 60s by the weekend. All right, so still lots of light showers across the area. It's not a big storm, but just know these are going to rotate through tonight and likely not be out of here probably before tomorrow morning. So again, sprinkles, a couple flurries out there still. And then finally here, look at this. High pressure builds in for tomorrow. And then this should travel to our north and not really bug us until later on next week. All right, going forward though, so lots of clouds out there now, a couple of spotty showers in the area. There could be a flurry in here as well. And then this does get out of here tomorrow, but still kind of cloudy throughout the day tomorrow with some snow flurries early, followed by decreasing clouds later in the day. Our forecast then for tonight, we're talking about mostly cloudy skies, a couple of flurries in there, with low temperatures down in the 30s. Your full forecast is coming up. Beth?
Jeff, thank you so much. Coming up on ABC 7 News at 6, our Callie Warren is standing by in Bangor to highlight what transpires during the city's budget meeting. Stay tuned.
Spring is here and the rebates are huge with Valley Home Services. With the quiet and efficient Fujitsu Airstage units, there's never been a better time to buy. And with Efficiency Main rebates up to $9,500. Plus, Valley Home is offering an additional promotional discount of $750 per system until April 30th. Best of all, everyone qualifies for a rebate even if you've received one before. Spring into home comfort and incredible rebates with Valley Home Services.
Get 0% APR for up to 48 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the purchase of a new 2026 Sportage.
When I was 29, I was diagnosed with cancer. And I think part of research and advocating for more money for cancer research allows survivors to have more time. Senator Collins supports and advocates for more funding for cancer research so that people can have better treatments, they can have better outcomes, and therefore they can live better lives as cancer survivors. Thank you, Senator Collins. Continue fighting for our families.
Peter Pan here. You know, I thought growing up would be the worst. Bills, responsibility, pants. But then I found a way to hack adulthood. It's called AAA. Grown-up perks, zero grown-up stress. Woo! Insurance and roadside assistance? Hey, yep. It's cool. I've got AAA. And don't forget, epic discounts on dining and travel. With AAA, it pays to be a member. A little more whipped cream, please? Yeah.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
The city of Bangor is currently going through the process of ironing out their 2027 budget. Our Callie Warren is standing by live at this evening's budget workshop. Callie, what exactly does this budget entail this time around?
Well, Beth, this is the first budget meeting of the year happening here right behind me, and I peeked through the budget proposal a little bit, and there aren't too many massive changes that are planned for 2027. However, the city is seeking to add some new staff. One of those proposals entails adding a new staff liaison to the Board of Ethics to help streamline the ethics investigation process. Additionally, requests have been made by both the city manager and the Bangor fire chief to add an emergency management director. Now, that individual would help to improve disaster response in situations such as severe storm damage, flooding, or infrastructure issues. And furthermore, the Bangor Public Library is requesting a budget increase of just a little bit over $250,000. They say that they're seeing an increase in, I quote, unacceptable behaviors, issuing more suspensions from the library, and that ARPA funding that is currently funding their social worker position is is coming to an end. It is a resource that both the library and individuals in the community say that they rely on. We'll have more from this meeting as well as the proposed budget a little bit later this evening. But for now, Beth, back to you.
Callie, thank you so much. Still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, a local woman was honored for her actions, resulting in a lost child being rescued. Stay with us.
Winniport Sheds now offers home kits ranging in size up to 2,300 square feet. Our homes are built with 2x6 studs and can be fully customized with options for siding, windows, doors, and floor plans. Best of all, they are energy efficient and affordable. Our home kits typically cost 30 to 50% less than conventional construction homes. Only at Winniport Sheds. Give us a call today, 990-2525.
Kirk Fisher is a motorcycle attorney with first responder experience. He protects fellow riders and those in danger, fighting fires and fighting for your rights. Experienced, determined, and dedicated. Iron Horse Motorcycle Lawyers. Look for motorcycles, or Kirk Fisher will be looking for you.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Bush. And I know what you're thinking, not another Bush, but hear me out. I'm not a politician or a lobbyist. I'm a veteran, an entrepreneur who created over 900 jobs in Maine. And as governor, I'll take a sledgehammer to Janet Mills' wasteful spending. I'll slash your taxes, property, and income, and put the Democrats' woke policies in the shredder. I'm Jonathan Bush. It's time for a... Johnny, don't touch the shredder!
Fire, water, storm damage, and even mold. We take care of you from cleanup to construction 24/7. When disaster strikes, tell your insurance company you want Penobscot Cleaning Services.
Folks, on Tuesday, the Maine baseball team scored their first win over a nationally ranked opponent since 2018. Our Max Sturm caught up with the Black Bears to talk it over.
We played a complete game against a really good baseball team, and that's where the excitement lays for me.
March 2nd, 2018. That was the last time the Maine baseball team defeated a nationally ranked opponent. That was until Tuesday, when the Black Bears traveled to Brighton, Massachusetts to battle with number 22 Boston College, who they bested by a score of 6-4. Maine took an early lead in the first inning when freshman Troy Carpenter hit a ball deep into center field and then extended that lead when he hit a single home run in the third.
That was big. I feel like we shut them down after that. I was glad that I was able to help the team out, secure the W, and everyone stepped up and did their jobs.
The Eagles would crawl back and tie the game going into the ninth inning. That's when graduate student Juju Stevens stepped up to the plate, awaited the pitch, and crushed the ball deep into left field for a 2-run home run, giving Maine a 6-4 lead.
Oh, it felt awesome. That one's probably one of my top college moments for sure. It felt good. I'm blessed to have the opportunity to put my skills on display and have it come into fruition right there.
I mean, he's an excellent baseball player. I mean, we have some guys that have been able to come up big in late innings, and he obviously did it and has done it.
With the bottom of the ninth still looming, it was up to senior pitcher Sebastian Holt to close the game. And with 2 outs on the board, Holt finalized the score sheet.
Those are the moments that I love being in. I love playing against good competition. I relish that. So it was just a good feeling to do my job.
After an exciting win, the Black Bears still have business to handle this weekend as America East rival UMBC makes the trip up to Orono.
It's business as usual for us, and that's the way we're going to be able to continue the momentum.
We're just going to do what we did, do what we do.
This is going to be a big momentum series for us. I think Energy is going to win this weekend.
In Orono, Max Sturm, ABC 7 and Fox 22 Sports.
Thank you for that, Max. Great to see the Black Bear baseball team back making some noise. We've got some major sports action coming your way tonight. They'll start at 6:10 with the Boston Red Sox in Game 3 of their series with the rival Yankees. That can be viewed on NESN Plus at 7. It's Game 3 of Bruins Sabres with the series tied at 1 apiece heading back to Boston. You won't want to miss that. And then that can be viewed on NESN. Then at 8, the NFL Draft kicks off. That's on ABC. Starts at 8 p.m. The Pats won't pick until pick 31 because of their trip to the Super Bowl. Always still a fun watch every single year with all the talent that can help some of these teams. That's on ABC and ESPN or NFL Network if whatever you choose. And with the NFL Draft kicking off later tonight, as we just talked about in Pittsburgh, Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel announced earlier today that he will miss day 3 of the draft to seek counseling. The move stemmed from pictures showing Vrabel and former NFL reporter Diana Russini embracing at an adults-only resort in Arizona. Both Vrabel and Russini are married to other people since then. Older photos of the pair kissing in March of 2020 have emerged earlier this week. Vrabel talked about getting help and moving on.
We never want to be the cause of a distraction, and those are comments and questions that I've answered for the team and with the team. We'll keep those private and, to ourselves. I care deeply about this football team, and I'm excited to coach them.
We'll have more on the draft and from the Bruins later. For now, here's your full 5-day forecast.
All right, thank you, Da Vinci Signs, innovative signage designed for impact. And we are talking weather out there for today, and not the bestest of days, right? With temperatures hanging out in the 40s across the region, lots of clouds in here, some rain showers too. But this is the beginning now of a long dry stretch, probably through the weekend into Monday and Tuesday. We have cool nights ahead, though. Some lows could be in the upper 20s around here. You ready for that? Followed by a sunny weekend is on the way. We earned it too, with temperatures near 60 or so. Out there today, though, no 60s for you. 47 here in the Bangor area, 42 for Millinocket. It's cool everywhere. Average highs are mid-50s. Not today, but tomorrow we will get closer throughout the afternoon. And we're kind of the cool kids out there for sure, right? Look at the plains and south today, even the Midwest too, with temperatures in the 80s. Not so much for us yet, but we will get there eventually, right? All right, the wind today, basically northwest or so, around 10 miles per hour. We can definitely handle that. We will get a few gusts in here, not tonight, more so tomorrow. We'll call it breezy tomorrow before the wind dies down tomorrow night. In fact, tomorrow night, there could be some dense fog across the area once again, as the wind briefly goes calm late tomorrow night into Saturday morning as well. So for now, the wave heights are looking pretty good, right? 2 to 3 feet across our region. It'll likely stay that way tonight into tomorrow. So thus, there are no advisories posted currently, no small craft advisories in here at all right now. They could, though, be expanded into tomorrow with a few waves approaching 4 to 5 feet throughout the afternoon. Okay, here's the drought monitor. It comes out every Thursday, and we are looking better than we were, right? So this rust color here has been kind of dwindled down just a bit after recent rainfall across our region. So we're going to keep working on this as we're now entering the planting season across our region. So we could use more rainfall. And ooh, look at this. There's some rainfall across the area now. This is not heavy. There's some light showers in here, a couple sprinkles in here as well. This is all going to kind of fall apart tonight, but it'll likely take until dawn tomorrow to get out of here completely. And then this system here is going to kind of stay there for now. It will begin to mess with us probably later in the weekend, most likely Monday or Tuesday, but until then we are dry around here. So tonight looking at lots of clouds around, a couple of sprinkles and flurries in the area. And then throughout the day tomorrow, we're talking about cloudy skies. There could be a sprinkle tomorrow. I think this model is overdoing it for sure, but just know tomorrow kind of one of those days again, lots of clouds around. There could be a sprinkle. And then by tomorrow evening, the clouds begin to break up. And Saturday and Sunday, to me right now, look pretty sunny around here with temperatures hanging out near 60 or so. So rainfall going forward, maybe 1/10 of an inch of rain. This event is winding down now. And then more rain back in the forecast for us early next week with our next system on the way then. But until then, though, a quiet, dry weekend's on the way. Our forecast time for tonight, though, is mostly cloudy skies. Low temperatures down near 31 with the showers ending. For tomorrow, lots of clouds around. Could be a sprinkle. Highs near 46 tomorrow once again. But things do change. Here we go. 5-day forecast up near 60 on Saturday, in the 60s Sunday, and probably from Monday into Tuesday as well.
Thank you so much, Jeff. We will be right back.
Every day is a Carhartt day. From the lecture hall to the lab, hard work pays off. And whether we're perfecting our designs or just kicking back, we do it in style. Carhartt style. Carhartt from Miller's Workshop in Brewer.
Car accidents can be scary. It can feel like the whole world is crashing down around you. Hurt in a car accident, I'm on top of it. I'm your go-to guy.
Call 222-2222.
Aggravated assault, cocaine possession, endangering a child. These are just some of the crimes committed by illegal immigrants in Maine. President Trump deported all these criminal aliens. As governor, Garrett Mason will fight alongside President Trump, standing tough on illegal immigration, supporting law enforcement, and putting the safety of Maine families first. Garrett Mason will deport dangerous criminals. He'll keep Maine families safe. We have strong leadership in Washington. It's time Maine did too.
Is that a compression nut?
Oh! Ah!
We got a duct taper.
Ready, set, let's go! Come to the open house at Greenway Equipment Sales in Bangor this Saturday and get geared up for the season. Celebrate spring and save on John Deere equipment. Take advantage of Deere season financing on John Deere compact utility and lawn tractors, Z-Tracks, and Gators. Save hundreds on tractor attachments. Get 10% off all in-stock parts. And grab one-day only Greenway dollars for even more savings. The Smith Brothers invite you to their open house celebration this Saturday at Greenway Equipment Sales in Bangor.
Some good news for home buyers. Mortgage rates have dropped again. This is the third week in a row for that trend. Experts say it's a great sign for potential home buyers during this spring home buying season. The 30-year fixed rate mortgage rate fell to 6.23% from 6.3% where it was last week. The average rate is now at its lowest level since March 19th. Meanwhile, borrowing costs on a 15-year fixed-rate mortgage, popular with homeowners refinancing their home loans, also eased up a bit this week. That average rate dropped to 5.58% from 5.65% where it was last week. We'll take every little gain we can get. Well, the Society for Science is a nonprofit in Washington, D.C. that is awarding more than $110,000 in STEM research grants to 41 educators across the country. A teacher in Dover-Foxcroft is one of the recipients. Jonathan Dumont of Setamocha Middle School teaches 8th grade physical science and leads the school's science fair. He was awarded $2,200 in grant funding to expand hands-on STEM learning. Dumont said, quote, "Grant funding will be used to establish freshwater and saltwater tanks for growing mussels and other bivalves. It will also support rearing algae, monitoring water quality, and measuring bacterial growth in the future. An extracurricular club for 7th graders will use this equipment to conduct high-quality science fair projects and build connections with the local environment and community," end quote. Certainly some important research there. An EMMC employee who intervened to help save a missing autistic child is being praised by the Brewer Police Department. Here is Sergeant Nickerson awarding Trista Burchill with a Brewer PD Challenge Coin. Yesterday, Burchill was working on the 3rd floor of Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center when she saw a young child playing on the riverbank of the Penobscot near Indian Trail Park, close to the water. She called police, and Brewer Police and Fire responded. It had been discovered that an 8-year-old autistic child was missing from a residence in Brewer. Sergeant Nickerson coordinated the police response, which included officers deploying to the park, the Conservation Club, and the Treats Falls Dam. The officers moved over rough terrain, and with the assistance of Brewer Fire, they found the child and reunited him with his family. The challenge coin was in recognition of Burchill's assistance. And that is going to do it for us, folks. For everyone here at ABC 7 News, take care and have a great rest of your night. And for more, join us over on Fox 22 News tonight at 6:30.
Tonight, the season
ceasefire, the blockade, and threats, what will it take to restart talks and wind down the war with Iran as the oil supply shock ripples through the U.S. economy? Plus, the homes
that the incident happened the day before. And if you were assaulted by one or both of them, why would you be, according to you, playfully, that's the word that you used to me, I playfully pulled on his ear. Why would you playfully pull on the ear of someone who had assaulted you the day before?
Because I was trying to let bygones be bygones when Serena asked me to.
Okay. It's clear you're not allowed to put your hands on somebody, Miss Williams. You just can't. Whether you say playfully, if you say that they assaulted you, one or both of them assaulted you the day before, you didn't clearly report it until after this incident happened. And then you tell me that after he assaulted you, you playfully pulled him by his ear to get him to talk to his girlfriend. Sorry, don't buy it. The case is dismissed. We're done. Thank you.
Please excuse me. Step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
My opinion's the only one that counts.
I thought she made the right decision.
She pulled him by the ear over the counter and then pulled me by my shoulders.
I was furious. I never assaulted her. I was happy that she was just fired and banned from the establishment. I'm glad to put this behind me.
This is Fox 22 News Tonight.
A man from Rome, Maine has been indicted on a dozen felony charges by the Kennebec County Grand Jury. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. 79-year-old David Allen Henry stands accused of attempted murder and multiple counts of elevated aggravated assault, unlawful sexual contact, and gross sexual assault. Court documents say he attempted to cause a female individual's death by strangulation and hitting her in the head repeatedly with a baseball bat. Documents also show the unlawful sexual contact and gross sexual assault charges stem from alleged incidents where the documents say Henry subjected victims younger than 12 or younger than 14 to sexual contact or sexual acts. Authorities say the body of a missing fisherman from Steuben has been found. According to the Maine Marine Patrol, the body of 63-year-old Thomas West